do, do, do,
Jesus, your sound has gone tits up the minute you started
do,
singing.
do, do, do.
Answers on a
Really?
postcard.
Do, 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 do.
I'm gonna have to lower you down. You're too fucking loud. Jesus Christ.
Do, 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 do.
Do 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 do. Answers on a postcard. We're live.
Yay! Why are you doing the Randy Orton pose?
Haven't watched wrestling in so long.
You're
We
just
are.
you're showing off your gammy finger, aren't you? Tell everyone what happened to your gammy finger.
I can't believe you actually brought it up. I thought I slipped away. I was cutting garlic last night and with very fancy Japanese knives, and it took the nail off. So,
Why were you cutting
so I was
garlic?
cutting like this, and then it just went and cut down to the nail. Uh,
Garlic is the most frustrating thing to 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 prepare because
you
it's like
think?
all little individual clove things that you need to deshell. I would see whenever I've got something that I need to cook and it requires garlic, I will literally just throw some garlic powder in it and just call it job done.
Hey Yuji, kiss my finger better. We have some people in the Discord. We have some people in the chat already. Hi Yuji. Yeah, I just nearly lost my finger last night. I Johnny Depp myself.
You Johnny Depp yourself.
I did. Yeah. It was quite painful. I'm not gonna lie. I was just laughing the entire time while blood just comes out of my finger like a fucking sci-fi movie. So, where shall we kick off, Shawnee?
Oh,
Coley.
um,
We're speaking code in here.
oh yeah, we speak in code. Nobody knows who I am. It's a mystery. Um, yeah, I wanted to know about your finger, and then I wanted to know what you thought about this week's episode of The Boys. Spoilers in the chat.
let's
Without
let's
spoiling it, without
let's ask the one person in chat: have they seen the boys, or do they know what the boys is? We're gonna wait for a reply.
well, this is gripping content, waiting for the
Gripping
one
content.
person in chat
Jesus.
to reply to us. You don't get this on as we go stream.
No, you don't. That's probably spoilers ahead of time, though, Shawnee. Yuji's probably just looking at us, going like,
I don't even
"The
know what
fuck?
the boys
What
is.
you thought? What
This
you two smoking?" All
this
right.
is sort
Anyway,
of
we'll move on. He's probably doesn't even know what's going on. But the boys, great TV show. Um, the new episode is really good. It's a lot to take in. No pun intended. Or maybe it is. It's it's something. I can't. I don't even know how talk about it because where would you start, like, or finish?
I would say that it was just entertaining start to finish on it.
Oh yeah,
Without
really good.
spoiling anything, I love how much it advanced the world of the boys in one episode. Um, characters died.
Mm.
Spoilers, not telling you who. Characters finally had a showdown. The characters literally went rogue and off script.
Right now, I have
Somebody,
a trailer for the boys playing over us. So season one trailer. So for people that
uh,
don't know what the boys is, you need to check this shit out.
yeah, basically it's what superheroes are corporate stooges. Like it's basically what would happen if superheroes were real in the modern world, where they would all have like brand ambassadors and stuff like that, and would have to follow, try and
Ads,
get their numbers
sponsorship.
up and all that shit, sponsorships. films and all that sort of shit. Like, it's what you would expect to happen in corporate world. They have to watch what they say and all that, but they're all cunts, basically.
Pretty much.
And
It
the
makes
word
a
cunt
great
is used an
entertainment.
awful lot.
Yes.
Is that going to demonetize your video?
Can't believe you just did that. Now we're demonetized. We're never going to be able to
Yeah,
pay for the lights.
yeah. You'll need to beep it out.
I'm not going to go
Um,
through all that. But anyway,
yeah. Anyway,
so we're watching The Boys at the moment. That's kind of
mm-hmm.
what we alluded
Watching
to.
the boys. As far as gaming is concerned, have you played any games this week?
Oh, I got a backlog of games to get through, but at the moment I am working my way through the lovely Disco Elysium, pretty much.
You
So
talked about that last week a bit, didn't you?
we did. Great game. I'm enjoying it. It's I don't want to say it's really relaxing to play because you kind of need to be engaged all the time while you're playing it. You know, you have to listen to all what the character's saying, all your actions, because they might make something go in a different direction, that type of stuff. But
It's
it's engaging.
it. Yeah, it's like I said to you before we started. The game is outstanding. To me, it is an outstanding game, but it requires so much effort to start playing. It reminds me a lot of my relationship I have with Skyrim and games of that ilk, where when I'm in the game and I'm playing it, I'm having so much fun and I'm in it and I'm enjoying it. But the second I stop playing it and I need to turn it back on again the next day, I always think to myself, oh, do I have the energy to put it on? Like,
You kind of
it's,
gotta prep yourself every time you play, like.
yeah, you need to be in the right frame of mind and all that sort of stuff.
And there's also that delay at the start of the game that you kind of like when you turn the game on. So the effort to turn the game on, knowing that like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this. But when you start the game, you have to basically remember everything you've done in the game.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of effort and like, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't remember what the fuck this. So then you might have to ask. No spoilers, but
Can't
go on.
I can't even remember what my personality was. What personality am I? Oh God! Like, who am I? Like, have a pure. I'm going to put my glasses on. Have a pure existential crisis.
You're basically like the guy in the fucking thing. You're just remembering everything slowly but surely.
Yeah, pretty
But
much.
yeah, that's what I'm playing at the moment, and I'm slowly working my way through it. I think I'm about halfway, maybe. You know where I am, so you probably and you finished it, so you probably know a better. I'm basically
Yeah,
over the bridge.
yeah. It doesn't drag on. That's what I like about it as well. So yeah, there's some games where you're like, I must be coming towards the end, and then it doesn't end. Like games like Assassin's Creed are great for that, where you're like, oh, I must be just about to finish it. And then 30 hours later, you're like, why have I not finished this game? Please just end. But it's not that. It's not that. It's timely. It values your time. And as old men as we are, like
Very old.
we need to appreciate and hold on to games that value our time nowadays, because they're few and far between.
And yourself, what
I've
have you been playing this week?
I played a couple of things. The main one that I finally got round to trying this week was Escape from Tarkov. And I have some thoughts on that game.
I'd
Uh,
say you do.
yeah, I think that game is equally at the same time one of the best shooters I've ever played and one of the most frustrating shooters I have ever played. So, have you played and do you understand the concept of Tarkov, or do you want me to talk through it?
So I'll jump. What you should do is you probably should talk about Tarkov and what it is in general. But just for me, I've
Mm-hmm.
played it for a couple of rounds. I've jumped in, died a couple of times, and jumped out, but I haven't had a good a good substantial like chunk of gameplay. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't know a lot about it. But I've seen, watched, heard a lot about the game over the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
So you could
Okay.
probably fill the people who are watching in what the hell is
Yeah.
Tarkov.
So I'll preface this by saying I've played about 15 hours in the last week of it. So it's not a massive amount, specifically by Tarkov standards, but it's enough for me to understand and grasp the basics of the game. And effectively, what it is a scarce resource management game wrapped up in a first person shooter, a very slow paced, meticulous first person shooter. Um, so the concept is you start the game, you can play as two different types of character. You can play as your character, or you can play as what's called a scav, which is the NPCs or the bots in the world that you can kill whilst you're playing through it. Um, you have a bunch of gear and you can load your character up. So let's just assume you're playing as your character for now. You load your character up with a weapon out of your stash, some armor, a backpack, something like that, and fill it with some meds and stuff like that. And then you go into what's called a raid, which is basically you pick a map, you load into it, and then you've got like I don't know how many other players. I assume they hide the amount of players in that map at any given time for a reason. But you load into it with other people and scav bots, and your objective is to escape. So escape from Tarkov. Your objective is to get out. You have roughly about 35 minutes, I think, to get your way through it. So because the game is a resource management game, your objective when you load in isn't necessarily to kill people, it's to collect as much loot as possible and get out. So each map has, I don't know, like I've only really played one of the maps, customs, and I only know that one. It's got about 15 exits. And when you load into the game, you'll get assigned four or five of them. So you can escape from any one of these four or five locations. I assume it does that so not everyone needs to escape from the same point, creating a
Yeah.
chokehold, killing everybody. So you get four or five that are assigned to you. There's no map, there's no way for you to know where you are. You just need to learn the map and figure out where you are and figure out where one of those exits are in relation to where you are. And then you just need to work your way through it, collecting things like killing bots, getting guns, killing players, taking their loot, just looking for weapons crates, loot caches, and just working your way through the map towards the exit and try to get out within that 35 minutes. If you don't get out within 35 minutes, your character dies. Or if someone kills you, obviously your character dies and you just come out the map immediately back into the main menu.
Okay.
Now, there's a huge level of permanence to the game. So if I get shot in the arm whilst I'm in the raid and in the map, and that it takes my arm's health down to zero, every single body part has its own health bar. So if it takes my arm down to zero, if I come out the game because I get killed, I still need to heal that arm. My character's health will stay where it is. If I die when I come out the raid, however I got killed, like headshot or bled out because of a bullet to the stomach or whatever, that body part will be at zero and I'll need to heal it up as well as all the other body parts that have taken damage. So, and that obviously costs money. To make money, you need to loot and sell the stuff that you find in the world. So there's this really fine balance of getting items that you're going to go into the raid again and be more powerful, like better armor and stuff like that, as well as selling stuff so that you're toeing the line. And then, again, I'm only 15 hours in, so this is just my understanding of it so far, is really trying to toe that line between risk and reward, going in, killing things, getting stuff, and getting out. And then you layer on top of that, it's got RPG elements where you can level up your stamina and your endurance and all these sort of different stats, your aim and all that sort of, like, not aim because it's very clinical with its aiming, but don't know, you can maybe steady aim for a little bit longer, stuff like that. Like also level up your stats. You can level up your relationships with the traders so that you get access to more things and you can sell more things to them.
Mm.
And you also get quests that you can use to experience and level up your character. So it
Missions
has a
or
lot.
quests?
Well,
Mm.
missions. I just call everything quests, but they're missions. It's like, for example, one of the traders will tell you, "I want you to kill 5 scavs in customs and loot 2 shotguns from them and bring them to me." You do that, you get a bunch of experience. He'll give you a gun, he'll give you some ammo, and yeah, that experience will go towards leveling your character, which will mean you'll get more missions, access to more gear from the vendors, and all that sort of stuff. So it has all that going on in the background. That's just the setup. The core gameplay itself, as I say, is very meticulous. It's very slow, which is right up my street. And that's why I'm still playing it. All that other stuff is honestly, it's a bit draining and tedious. The whole, because it's so clinical, it's like, yes, you need to have a shotgun. There's 17 types of shotgun ammo. You need to make sure you're using the right ammo. You need to um, insure all your shit, and you need to like build your character and all that sort of stuff every single run that you do. That can all be quite tedious to people. I
Mm.
don't mind it, but I could go without it. But the gameplay to me is just so good and is so up my street that it keeps me playing, because it's not Call of Duty, it's not a battle royale, it's not any other shooting game I've played really recently. It's literally, you might see someone in the whole raid. You might not. You might kill a couple of scabs. You might not even see scabs. You might want to just do a run through where you're like, I'm just going to loot and get out because my my ratio of currency and items to kills and progress is way off, and I'm now going into a raid with just a pistol and nothing else because I've got no shit. So you're like, I'm just going to do a couple of runs and just collect some gear again so that I can actually play the game. But yeah, it's very slow, it's very meticulous, it's very work your way through, because you will get headshot and you will die if you get shot in the head. It's that kind of game. If you get shot in the leg, you'll be crawling for the rest of the map and you'll probably die and stuff like that. So it's the way I would describe it is, when I was 13, 14, whatever, I would play the old single player Medal of Honor games, and I would think to myself, it would be amazing to be in a big map and be able to like be a sniper and just lie in the grass and just wait for someone to walk by. And for some people, that sounds like the most boring thing in the world. That's not playing a game. That's just sitting doing nothing, waiting on someone. But to me, that kind of fun. That's the kind of level of
Tension.
yeah, tension that I want from a first person shooter. I don't want to die and respawn every 5 seconds. I want it to mean something. So yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I'm going to keep playing it. I believe there's a reset coming tomorrow, which means everyone in the whole game is getting reset back to zero, because they're introducing a big patch with new map content and new guns and stuff like that. So when they do that, they just reset everything so everyone goes back to nothing, and then
As
you need to
in
build your
nothing.
character up again.
So nothing as in items are gone, or is it just your level, your stamina stats and stuff like that?
You default back to the default stuff you get when you just buy the game. So when you just buy the game, you open it up, and the game gives you your first couple of weapons and armor pieces and backpacks and stuff, and says, right, on you go. So everything that you've collected over the last 6 months, all your gear and your bank balance and all of that, and your levels and your relationship status with all the traders and stuff like that, all resets back to zero, and you just start again. And from reading the Reddit, people seem to really like that period because it's the most level playing field the game is. Like when I load in just now, I avoid players like the plague because I'm kicking about in very basic and shotgun, a very basic armor, and that's pretty much it. And a basic bandage to stop bleeding if I get shot in the arm or something like that. But
Mm.
players clearly running around in like mega helmets and mega chest armor and sniper rifles with 16 times scopes that can shoot you from a mile away and stuff like that. So it'll be a good time to start playing it
So,
when it resets.
question that I have is multiplayer.
hmm
What is the multiplayer like in the game, or have you experienced that, or what?
So co-op, I assume you mean co-op because everything in it's multiplayer. It's all online.
Yeah, like
So
playing with friends, basically.
yeah, playing with friends. Yeah, it does exist. You can queue in with people. When you queue in, you can pick to queue with random people who are looking for a group, or you can just queue in yourself, or you can queue in with your friends. I think it's three is a maximum you can group with. Um, I don't quote me on that because I've not played with other
As in
people to be
three
sure on it.
including yourself, or three and yourself?
Th- Three including yourself, I believe.
Okay.
Um, but honestly, given how slow and meticulous the game is, I don't think you'd want any more than that because, like, really, if you're play when you're playing by yourself, you don't want to be running into groups of people all the time because it's completely imbalanced. Plus, when you die, there's no Call of Duty, there's no gulag, you can't respawn or anything like that. So if you three load in, Um, I assume you'll need to find each other first because everyone spawns at a completely random place. And then if one of you die, you're just sitting waiting on the other two people all the time. So I don't think that
Mm.
would be particularly fun. So
Is
um,
this a cool Nitro game?
yes, I think so. I mean, Cool Nitro will be the ultimate decider on it, but I
You
know
just
that Cool
said you were
Nitro,
gonna sit in a bush and snipe. I'm pretty
that's a Cool Nitro
sure
game.
that's cool Nitro's.
Yeah. But it's also you can sit in a toilet and shoot people, which makes it a you game because you like to just sit in the toilet and waiting people walking in. So
Let's next level plays, man. Next level
what
plays.
I think it has something for everyone. Really, is what I'm trying to get
Okay.
at because even with Irish crew, Irish is really into like the the weapons side of shooting games.
Mm.
Like, and this is very
The
simulation
guns
when
are
it
very
comes to that.
detailed. There's lots of parts to the guns. I think he'll enjoy that. Like
Yeah,
Nitro
it's
2.
very simulation.
Mm.
When it comes to the gunplay and the building guns and the crafting modded versions of them and how they fire, how they sway and aim and all that is all very simulation. So I think Irish would like that part of it. There is a little bit of everything for most people.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not Icy because Icy is very much ADD. If something's not happening within about 5 seconds, Icy's bored and he wants to run off and do something. So I don't know if it's
Yeah,
particularly his kind of game.
he has that type of personality that he needs to be in and doing shit immediately.
Yeah.
He's not a slow paced. Well, you never know. He plays a lot of. Well, he used to play a lot of strategy games.
hmm
Even Dota. You know, I see similarities with this and Dota, but in a weird way. Like you were talking about raids. Like a match of Dota is between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the setup. Even though I haven't played in so long, but it could be something to play in the future. I know to get some of the lads playing this game, I think there needs to be a substantial amount of people playing it already for
hmm
people to jump on the bandwagon. I think it's one of those type of games, you know. I
Yeah, and honestly, even if nobody else played it, I wouldn't mind. I'm gonna keep playing it. I find it relaxing.
Mm,
I say because it's slow paced, I can just go in, be like, right, okay, I'm going to do a raid, and I'm just going to slowly work my way through it and feel like I've achieved something by finding a couple of weapons, killing a couple of scavs, getting a couple
mm,
of items, and progressing towards a couple of quests, even if I'm not finishing them. And then
mm.
I'm like, I had fun, and then that was it.
Yeah, I just jump back a bit. I think it's a cool Nitro game. Like Nitro likes to collect resources, and like he likes to do like solo things where he'll run around trying to get as much resources as he can because he'll be online when we're not online. Kind of like when we play survival horror games, or survival games. He'd be the main collector of items, so to speak. Like with Valheim, at V Rising, he was the one that collected the most materials. In this game, you're collecting materials for yourself, so you're always um how can I put it? You're always increasing your own stats, increasing your own like
Yeah,
armory.
it has a roguelite element to it, which I
Mhm.
know that Cool likes roguelites. So it has that you are going through one at a time, and when you die, you're dead and you go back to the start. But there is a permanency to the things that you manage to get out of it, like the experience, like things to upgrade your um your little.
Is there a trading mechanic, or you keep
There
what you
is a
get?
trade. Yeah, there's a trading mechanic. So I don't fully understand how this works yet because you need to be level 15 to access the flea market, which I'm not yet. And the flea market is where you just anything that you take out of a raid has got a little tick on it, and that means that you can sell it to other players. So you can put it on the flea market and get currency from players can buy it. But basically the auction house and WoW, but without auctions, it's just a set price. You stick it on the flea market for a set price, and someone either buys it or they don't. So it has a flea market for trading. Most people use that, from what I can tell, for quest items like keys and specific guns that you need for quests and stuff like that. And they seem to sell pretty well from what I see. Stuff to upgrade your. You have this little like base that you can upgrade. Um, you can, and again, it's just another mechanic that sits in the background that adds a layer of permanency to it. Like you can create get a Bitcoin generator that means that every 6 hours you'll get a little bit of currency out of it and stuff like that, just to make things easier as you progress. Anything that's used to upgrade your base will sell, and then things like guns and stuff like that as well. Um, the scarcest thing that I seem to see in the whole game is ammo. So ammo seems to be the most valuable thing to hold on to
Mm.
because none of your guns work without it, and it's relatively scarce. So traders will only sell a limited amount of ammo each cycle. Like every couple of hours, the traders will stock reloads, and then they'll have different things on there. And ammo is very few and far between. So yeah, there's an in-game option, in-game marketplace that you can buy and sell shit on from other players as well, which is quite valuable.
So the thing I would say last to finish this all off, do you think it's user friendly or easy to access?
No. It's the most non-user friendly game in the world. You literally need to sit and read a wiki for almost everything. Like for example, to give you an example, I picked up an AK, right? And I was reading the description of the AK, and it was the 7.76 ammo or whatever it is that an AK uses, right? So I was like, right, okay, I need to get some 7.66 ammo or 7.76 ammo. So I went into the traders and I found one that sold 7.76 ammo. So I bought like 30 of it. And then I went back to my armory and I was like, right, okay, load the gun. But it wouldn't load. And it was like, clip is empty. I was like, I know the clip's empty. That's why I'm trying to load it. Like, I don't. And it turns out you can't just buy the bullets for the AK. You need to buy the actual clip itself that the bullets go into before they go into the gun. So you need to buy the clip, again, you need to load the bullets into the clip, then you need to load the clip into the gun. And then when the bullets run out, unless you've got two clips and another one already preloaded sitting in your inventory waiting to reload, you need to take the clip back out and manually put bullets back into it to load your gun up again. So it's stuff like that that's, again, it's ultra realistic. I get that. but it doesn't explain that at all. It's not user friendly at all, and almost every single gun in the game uses different bullets and different clips and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's a bit of a nightmare. It's very much menu management in the game for 50% of it. So yeah, it's not user friendly.
It sounds like a game you're gonna need to like go into YouTube and do like video tutorials,
Which is what I've been
introduction.
doing. I've been
Mm.
watching a guy. Let me give a shout out to a guy I've been watching because he's really good at teaching me stuff.
Yeah, give him a shout out
Um,
on our video cast stream. All
his
7 people watching.
name is Pestily, and he's got this series where he just starts a fresh character and just runs through it, and as he's going, he explains everything he's doing and why it works that way and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll link to him in the chat. But yeah, I find his stuff really, really useful. So I would recommend using him as a source for information if you're going to.
Are you trying to link him in the stream chat?
Yeah, but it wasn't working. It's not letting me chat. Is there a reason chat's disabled?
Chat shouldn't be disabled.
It's for me. So I'll just link it to you here.
Don't do it on this.
And you can stick it in the chat. Don't do it on
Okay.
Discord.
I can't
Aye.
access Discord because of our cameras. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah,
Do it
you
on
can put it in
Steam.
the
You can do it on
YouTube link.
Steam.
Um,
Anywho.
Anywho, yeah, I do recommend, like, if you're wanting just a slow-paced, relaxing first-person shooter that is just take your time, feel like you've progressed and achieved something just by getting out with a bit of gear, and you don't want to put too much stress on yourself. It is, for me anyway, it's a very relaxing game and quite a good game to just unwind it.
Okay.
I would say on a final note, it is a game that right now I hate that I don't know everything about it. I don't know the maps. I don't know where the exits are. I'm all over the place all the time. I don't know how guns work or ammo and all that, or what ammo's for what, and it's frustrating. But I know that once I know all that shit, I wish that I didn't. So it's one of those where, like, oh, it would be really cool to like not know the maps anymore and be trying to figure out where to go and all that sort of stuff.
Sense of exploration.
Yeah, that will be gone from it once I know everything, which will be a shame. But right now, I'm enjoying it.
And hopefully, by the time you do know everything, to be a new map or some shit like that. I wouldn't really know.
Or someone else will have come and played it with me so that I can teach them everything.
I tell you, ask around. Ask around. I'm pretty sure Oshi has the game. He owns every single game ever made. All right, we'll move on. So
move on. You played anything else?
No. Have I? No, I don't think I have. Don't think I have at all. No.
I played one more thing that I'll very quickly touch on. I played some City Skylines again.
Great game.
Love it. So on the Steam sale, I just bought all of the DLC in one big bundle. So yeah, I've been playing a fair bit of City Skylines. I've just started from the beginning again, and I'm going with a little university city right now. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's easily the best city simulator in the world ever. Like, SimCity doesn't even have a touch on it. Like, it's just so good. I remember I had forgot what it was like to play it, and I was building this city in this little square, forgetting that this isn't SimCity. That's not the only area there is. You can buy square tiles all the way out, and you can make it literally a massive metropolis of like 5 different cities. The game can be, like, on your screen just now. The game can be truly massive. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying City Skylines. Plus, it's a really good game to watch people play when you're like going to sleep and stuff. Because again, it's
Really?
quite a Yeah, it's quite a relaxing game to just watch someone sitting building a city and watching it grow and all that, and you'll fall asleep, and it'll be like this wee quaint town, and then you'll accidentally wake up 4 hours later, and it'll be this big, massive metropolis with everything and anything on it. It's quite a relaxing game to watch people stream, I find anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah, not much to say about it. It's an old game, but
it's
it's
an old but good game,
still the yeah, it's still the best city simulator in the
and it's
world.
probably going cheap, which brings us to our next topic.
Yeah,
Since we did the last episode last week, the Steam Summer Sale dropped.
it did. Before we get into what we got on the Steam Summer Sale, overall, what do you think of the sale right now?
See, I'm. It's hard for me to say because I went in with no money. Like, as in, I just had a voucher left over from Christmas, and I kind of managed my money. I kind of made like, oh, there's a €7 game with a €12 game that makes €19. That leaves it. So I kind of I did it all through calculations, if that made sense. But I don't think
Yeah,
it's really as cheap as it used to be or something.
it's not. Yeah, I think that's kind of the point I was getting at. Like, I feel like the sale isn't brilliant. Um, there's a there's a there's a conversation to be had around what is Steam were Steam sales better when it wasn't just here's everything that's on sale for the duration of the sale. And remember, it was like, oh, here's the flash sale. This thing is now 90% off for the next 5 hours. Get it now. And there was a little bit more excitement about that, about oh, what's coming up next in the sale? What's it going to be tomorrow? What's it going to be the next day, and all that sort of stuff. There was some excitement around it, but
Mm.
at the same time, it did create pressure. It created people had to like impulse buy in case the sale went away, in case the thing that they wanted to buy went off sale during the window. So I can see the reason they changed it to just having everything up all the time and just buy what you want. But I do kind of miss that little flash sale kind of here's today's sales kind of stuff that they used to do.
Yeah, I feel as though they kind of just laid out the discounts and just left them.
Yeah, I mean the problem is as well is they have a lot of competition that they didn't used to have.
That's
Um,
true.
a lot of the games, it takes a lot of excitement out of a sale when most of the games that are on there you can probably go on Xbox Game Pass and play for nothing anyway. Like all the EA games, Football Manager, like basically most of the high end AAA games that are on there, you can probably go on Xbox Game Pass and play for free. So, I say for free for the price of the Xbox subscription, but um, that kind of takes a lot of the excitement out of it for me as well. Because I was looking at it and I think that Football Manager was on sale for like 70% off or something. I was like, that's really good. But then I went on to my Xbox Game Pass and I could play it for nothing there. So I was like, well, I'm not going to pay a
Hmm.
tenner for it when I can just play it for nothing anyway. Um, so yeah, I think that that kind of takes the excitement out of it a little bit. Uh, but yeah, overall, it's a very average sale. But also, to be fair, I don't know if that's the sales problem. I think just gaming in general in the last 2 or 3 years has been a very average industry. There's
It's been a snooze fest.
Yeah, there's been very few things that have come out that have genuinely excited, and because there's been so few, when something does, we buy it. We buy it on day. So
Pretty
we
much.
already own it. So like I think that's part of the problem as well is the industry is probably in my opinion at an all-time low for new games and content and interest and excitement and yeah, um that's really the main problem more than anything, rather than the percentage discounts that you're getting. Just games are a bit shit right now for the most part.
Yeah, it's true.
What did you get in the sale? Talk me through the games you got and why you got them.
So the first game I'll do. So I've gotten 5. So
Bought
the first.
four.
Sorry.
I bought four, so
Okay.
we can
I'll
do one
I'll
at a time.
I'll do. Yeah. So I'll start off. So the first game I got was Death's Door. So it was something I seen when it was first, not first released, but the lead up to it. I thought, oh, this looks like an interesting game, and it was kind of like an indie company, and I was like, okay, this is probably going to be cheap. It looks good, cheap. I'll put this on my wish list, and it's been on my wish list since before it released, but I never got around to getting it. Saw it was on the sale. I was like, gonna pick that up. I think it was like €7, €8 or something. I can't actually think of the price. And I said, having that. So that's on my list. It'll probably be fifth. Actually, no, it'll probably be third or fourth in the list of games I'll be playing. Like eventually get to, because I have a certain few I want to get to first. But yeah, it looks really, really good, really interesting. It looks fun to play. I feel like it's going to be about a 12 to 20 hour game.
So
So,
I will tell you, I have clocked in 23.9 hours on Death Store,
okay.
and I have 24 out of 24 achievements. I absolutely loved that game. That game was end to end one of the few games recently where I've been like, I want to stop doing work so I can just go play this game. Um, it's really, really fun. I'm not going to spoil anything about the story or anything like that. It doesn't go where you expect it to go. It's very interesting, and it's very funny, and it's very bleak, and the gameplay and the puzzles in it are very well put together. It's just a brilliant, and the art style is just
Yeah, the art style,
gorgeous.
obviously, it grabs your attention and all that. And plus, you're aboard with a lightsaber, you know?
Yeah.
So, which means we'll jump to you. Give us one of the games that you picked up yourself.
Well, firstly, I'll talk about the one that we both bought together. I
Okay,
assume
we'll kill two birds with the
we
one stone.
we were here together, so we were going to play that today, but I assume we will play it next week.
Yeah, you're asking me
Um,
to play with a damaged, but I can do a controller, which will work.
yeah. Can you play We Were Here Together with a controller? I don't know. Um, but yeah, if you watched our playthrough of the other We Were Here, it's going to be more of the same, I assume. Two players, two of us shouting at each other, trying to get us to explain or do something that we want each other to do, and being very bad at being descriptive. I think it'll be a good laugh.
Oh,
Uh,
it's gonna be a good laugh. I'll probably put out a couple of notifications and posts ahead of time when we're playing this one. Try and get people involved, you know?
yeah, and we're going to try to make it so we can see both our screens this time, rather than it just being your perspective and me talking about shit in the background. We'll try and make it a little bit more visual and that you can see both of us and see what we're both up to at any
Engaging,
given moment.
engaging.
Engaging,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't want to say entertaining because we are quite entertaining. Well, I am.
Yeah. Okay, so I suppose I need to go again because
You do need to go again.
I also bought Road 96. Um, which is a very member berry game from what I can tell. Um,
Yeah,
where it's all about this. It's basically about someone driving across country in the USA in the 90s. And it's very, oh, look how 90s this is. And I think it's a bit got a roguelite element to it where you start your journey again and then you can make different options and they all intertwine. The last story you just done and the next story. It's very story driven, kind of telltale, kind of Life is Strange style story
Nami
driven game.
Nami just said you'd be more entertaining topless.
I'll show you a bit of hair. I don't want to get Cron banned with my sexy body. You don't have any hair?
I know, yeah. I'm like a dolphin.
You're like a dolphin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like Austin Powers.
Well, you are with those glasses. Groovy
Oh,
vibe, boy.
behave.
Do a Scottish version of him. Oh, behave there, boy.
Oh, I behave.
So
Do an
yeah,
Irish version. We'll do an Irish version here. Behave. Oh, behave. You know, behave and all that jazz, all that stuff.
you sound like you're just farting from your mouth.
I'll do the London version. My name's Icy.
I think last episode was the only episode we never said that in it. My name's Dolphin. I don't know why he has like a lisp or some fucking big tongue for his mouth. My name's Dolphin. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
you were talking about
The road. Yeah, Road 96. Yeah, it's just I've not played it. I've just seen trailers and stuff like that, and it just looks like another one of those.
it looks
I will
interesting. I'll
sit.
give it that. It really does look
Yeah,
interesting.
I'll sit downstairs with a controller whilst Nick's sleeping and just kind of chill with a Bailey's or something like that over winter and play it is
Oh,
kind of my expectations. So it's not going to be.
Nami doesn't know what a
Oh no,
Bailey's
it's
is. Bless him.
Nami. Why does Nami not know what a Bailey's is?
Cause that's alcohol.
Nami drinks alcohol. Nami injects heroin. Think you guys stop at a beer?
What?
He injects heroin into strangers and then
I know
puts
that
them in the
much.
back of his car.
What is wrong with you? All right, let's
Much.
love you. I'm from London, innit, mate? Just wait. So we
Just
will
weed and racism, that's all London brings to the world.
weed and race. So we will jump on to the next one, which is one of mine. So kind of along the same style as um Death Store. I picked up The Last Campfire. So
You're going to explain that to me? I have no idea what that is.
So to me, like I don't really know a lot about the game. I just seen videos of it before it came out. It's thrown a lot of crap at me, but it's basically it reminds me of like old style Zelda. You know, where you're going into dungeons, you're solving puzzles, you're just trying to clear the dungeon and move on to this story. But it kind of released this couple of Ori and the Blind Forest vibes. I don't know, aesthetically, it's kind of like
Does it
that
go?
art style.
Does it do that?
Probably,
When you,
I hope so. So I think the thing is you're at a campfire. I'm just spitballing. This is probably not exactly what happens, but you're at a campfire and a load of your family are either not there or they're frozen. I can't remember how it is. And you basically have to just unfreeze your family or find them or wherever the fuck it is.
you don't hate when you get home and your family's frozen and you need to unfreeze them. So frustrating, isn't it? It's like, oh, for God's sake.
So I think this is probably one or two on my list after I'm probably finished with Disco Elysium because I know it's a short game. I kind of want like right. I want to just play something fresh, something new. I kind of want to get it over and done with as quick as I can, in a nice way possible. In a nice way
I mean,
possible.
I'll be honest, from what I'm watching you share, it just doesn't look like my kind of game.
Because it doesn't have guns.
Like, no, excuse me, you just talked about Death's Door and Road 96, neither of which have guns. But
I'm sorry. Road 96 does. There's a guy with
it just
guns.
looks it just looks a bit too cutesy. It looks like
Cutesy.
by committee little
You
cutesy
you
things
just said
running
you
around.
put you completed Death Star cutesy.
Yeah, but Death's Door's artistic.
And
This
this
isn't
isn't.
artistic. No, it's just a
And this
little.
isn't.
It's literally a by committee. Let's
And this
make the
isn't.
cute.
And this above me isn't.
No, there's nothing above you.
You must be
No,
smoking. You must be smoking some of that Nami stuff because you're fucking
nah. I
talking
think
shy.
look at the character you're playing. It's like, oh, how could I look
It's a
any
cute
more
little
like
sandbag.
Yeah, exactly. You said the word cute.
This looks like
Um,
Zelda. And you're saying Zelda's just cutesy?
no, Zelda. Every game's stylized different. Some of them are cutesy, but not all of them. Um, Plus, the best Zelda is Link's Awakening, which is a Game Boy game.
Really?
Um,
Nah. Nah.
mm,
Different discussion for a different time. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on.
yeah.
We move on. So that was last campfire. So we've already touched on a good few. What is your next one?
I only have one more, I think, and it's
Yep.
Tormented Souls. Um, so from what I gather, this is a callback to the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 survival horror games of old, which is why I wanted to give it a try, because that's like my favourite period of survival horror, like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3,
Enjoy watching We Own This City, Nami.
Dino Crisis, and all that sort of stuff.
Oh,
Um,
Dino Crisis.
yeah, so it seems to be an isometric callback to those kind of old survival horrors. Find the item for the door to open, all that sort of
Find the
stuff. Like,
jewel that opens the kitchen, that brings you to the fucking hook shot, that gets you to the ceiling, that finds the key hidden behind the statue. I'm not gonna lie,
exactly.
I love them stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff as well. So, yeah, that's probably going to be next on my list. That's going to be the next game to play. I'm looking forward to it. I say it's just the kind of games I grew up playing, like, and I used to play even like the really, really bad ones. I would literally go out my way looking for them. I'd play Clock Tower. If you've ever played Clock Tower,
I'll give you
or
two. I'll give you two if you're gonna throw
Mhm.
old ones at me. Obscure and Extermination.
Okay, don't know what either of those are.
Do you want me to show them to you?
Yeah, go for it.
People of the internet, I will show you. Right. So the first one I remember playing, right, is a game called Extermination. Right. I think that's what it was called.
Well, you do that. I'll
PlayStation.
just finally say close off Tormented Souls by saying, yeah, it is literally looks like old school isometric view, or fixed camera, sorry, I should say, survival horror, and I'm looking forward to playing it. It gets decent reviews. It looks fun.
So so this is basically it's a Resident Evil knockoff, right? So you are playing. You're part of like I'm trying to remember all of it by looking at this, but you're basically kind of like a spec ops team, and you get sent up to like the Antarctic to go find out what happened to this whole fucking setup. I think they were doing like experiments, some scientist labs and all that type of stuff. And when you get there,
Okay.
everyone's missing, everyone's kind of like disappeared, and then you find people who are dead and all that. And the monster, it's kind of like a mixture of Resident Evil and The Thing. And
Right.
the
Okay.
thing that a lot of people liked about it is there was a lot of customization going on with the gun, like the grips, the handles, the fucking bullets, the stock, and all that type of stuff. But it was basically like a mixture of Resident Evil and The Thing.
It's looking very Metal Gear Solid from what I can see
That
right now.
absolutely, that is another thing I'd say it would remind you of, just with the way your character is dressed. But let me see if I can get some more good footage. But look, you're in the middle of fucking vents coming around.
Yeah.
But also there was a mechanic in the game that like you can push yourself up against walls and maneuver yourself that way and stuff.
So Metal
But
Gear Solid.
it is I even looking at it now, it is a bit of Metal Gear Solid, but it was more Resident Evil because you needed to run around and find stuff to open doors, open keys, and with slow monsters and shit. And I'm not getting any monsters. And the next one is Obscure. So obscure. Let me see. Yeah, PlayStation. They're all PlayStation 2. This is how I just remember them so much. So obscure. Let me get the trailer.
Yeah, a lot of the ones I'm talking about are probably more PS1, Clock Tower, City of Lost Children, Parasite Eve, all those kind of ones are all more
So
PS1.
when it comes to obscure, the reason why I remember so well is that obscure is 2 players. So it's Resident Evil with 2 people,
That sounds fun.
and so like one needs to hold this lever while one does this lever. But basically, I believe it was a school, and it's during the summer break, and you go back like someone's missing, and you think they went back to the school, and you go in, and it's just like Silent Hill everywhere. Just the whole place is all fucked up, and you have to figure out what's going on. And you can't leave because there's monsters outside, so you have to figure out how to get out, and that just makes you go deeper and deeper into the school. And yes, I did just hit my teammate.
Does anyone almost become a Jill sandwich in it?
Oh yes, yes. Because there's multiple characters in the game. I think you can pick who you play the game as. I think there's like 5 different characters, something like that. But this is going back years. Like all this footage right now is just bringing it all back to me. But that's another Resident Evil game. But I think the difference is they just wanted to make it 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say I recommend it now. I probably don't. I don't
Yeah, I
probably
thought it was
recommend
quite
either one of
interesting.
them again. But
The I
jumping
would
on
say
that bandwagon.
the first one looked better than this one. Um, I think of the two, given the choice, I'd play the first one. Um, this one looks like, as you say, it's trying to rip off Silent Hill, but doesn't have the ability to do it well.
Mm. Look, it's a
But
pendant.
I can't say that and then say I played City of Lost Children and fucking Clock Tower 7 and shit like that. So I've got not got a leg to stand on when it comes to survival horror.
Right, we'll move on. Your next game.
That was all my games. That's me
Oh,
done.
oh Jesus. Right, so
Because the other one was uh, City Skylines, and talked about that already.
so the next game I purchased, which has been on my list as well, is Batman Telltale game,
Um,
which I think you've played it and you've finished it.
yes. Um, I thought it was good. Um, as much as I could say about it. I don't want to spoil it if you're going to play through the story. It
Yeah,
plays around with the expectations of who the characters are and what they look like Penguin and stuff like that. The stereotypical Penguin and stuff like that. They're very unique takes on the characters. So, um, but yeah, overall, I had a good time. It was just a good Batman story. It was quite. I would
good.
put it as far as Batman's concerned. I would put it better than the DCU Batman stories. I would put it on par with the Robert Pattinson Batman, and then I would put it below the Arkham Batman stories, the Bale Batman stories, and probably the original Batman and Batman Returns. It's probably
Batman,
below them, but it's still quite good.
Batman. Who are you? I'm Batman. I'm Batman. But yes, so that's another one. I'm looking forward to playing that because I am a fan of the Telltale games. I've played obviously The Walking Dead's. I played The Wolf Among Us, which is great. I'm really happy. Can't wait for number 2 to come out. Also, Game of Thrones one, which I have never completed actually. Funny enough, I might have to add that to a list now.
When Telltale went under, what games of theirs had you played?
I think what I
Because
just said. I didn't buy anything.
I find it interesting they went under when they seem to be doing relatively well. But then I think of the over released games. Like, I never played the Game of Thrones game because it looked awful. I never
It
played
I
I never
got a
played
few hours
the.
into it, but yeah, it just didn't hit as much as the show. I was at its peak when I got it, I think.
Yeah,
Hey,
I never
Nimrod.
played the Borderlands game.
No, no
I never
interest.
played the Minecraft game. Um, like stuff like that. I didn't have any interest in. I think I even fell away from the Walking Dead ones after the second one. Can't really remember. So, but Wolf
So
Among Us was excellent, and I'm looking forward to the new one.
so good. It took me. I'm not gonna lie. It took me 3 goes to get fully into it. Like the first time, I just finished like one of the chapters, and I obviously played something else. And the second time, it was so long since I played it that I need to go through the chapter again, and then I did
Hmm.
exactly the same thing again. But so the next one is um, Outer Wilds, the DLC
All right.
content.
Oh, the DLC for it. Yeah. Did you
So
enjoy the original Outer Wilds?
right, let me make. How can I put this? That game is the only game to have ever made me feel quite stupid.
I thought you were going to say make you cry.
No, there's a couple of games that have done
Like,
that.
plenty of games make you cry.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I get emotion
Fortnite. Fortnite makes you cry.
when I lose.
Um, yeah, to a 7-year-old screaming down the camera at you.
My name's Isaac. But the original game Outer Wilds, I've heard so much about it. Didn't really understand it when I was watching. I was like, is this like some type of first-person shooter, whatever? I don't know. But I bought it, I think 2 years ago or whatever it was. Played it and then really got invested in it. But I just, for some reason, it made me feel fucking stupid because it doesn't. It's not the norm of the games. It's not very normal compared to the games I play, like running guns and all that type of stuff. You really have to think and listen, and it's it rewards you in different ways than certain games. But like,
Yes.
it's I think it's very hard for me. It's very hard to describe. It's just like you're an alien who his mission is to go out and explore. However, the world explodes in 20 minutes, like 22 minutes or something like that. So you're just like, right, Groundhog Day, but you keep all the memories of what you know, so you can kind of rush to where you need to go before 20. Like I love all that mechanic, but I just thought near the end of the game, I got really impatient to the point that I'll even say this: I didn't technically complete the game. I got right to the end. Of no spoilers. I got right to
Mm-hmm.
the end and got really frustrated at a particular part and I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch a video of someone doing it on YouTube. And then it was basically like 5 minutes later, it's the end of the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
I just had to put 5 minutes into it. It was the end of the whole thing. So I was like, okay. But so sometimes playing the game, I'm like, oh, this is cool, this is class, this is new, this is fresh. And then sometimes I'm like, I'm fucking stupid. What the fuck? How did I not get that right? Where am I going? What the fuck is going
Yeah.
on?
It's a difficult line to toe in it when it comes to games like Outer Wilds,
Mm,
where the game wants you to have a sense of exploration and oh my god, that's so cool that that's related to that I done like all of that time ago and has all these really interesting interconnected puzzles and stories and things that happen. Um, and to have that, but also direct you as a player on where to the right way to go is a very difficult balance to find.
yeah.
Outer Wilds definitely leans towards the figure it out yourself side of it and just be like, okay, you've it's very directed at the start, walking through that first planet until you can take off on the ship, and then it's just like, okay, off you go, figure it out everything yourself. And you look up into the sky, and you'll see a man sitting on the moon playing a musical instrument, and you'll be like, what's going on here? I'll just follow that sound and go find that guy. And it kind of does direct a little bit, but you're right, it's very confusing. There's points where it's like, am I doing this right?
If you
I don't
miss
understand.
one bit of detail,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're fucked. Like you're fucked
Mhm.
going forward unless you kind of backtrack and go through everything all over again. Like I'll first of all, there's one question is, we'll say, at the start when you learn to fly, you're playing. Did you crash the fucking thing a lot? The
Yes.
little one that you practice on. Mother of
Yeah.
God, I was like, I'm not playing this game. Fuck this
Mhm.
game. I was about to throw it out the window. And the second thing was, do you know the thing that you listen to? There's a, for people who don't know, when you're going out in space, you have this little gun who can kind of do multiple things. It can do some scans and all that. I didn't know that had multiple uses. So when I
Right.
took the
Okay.
gun out, whatever it was left on was the thing I was always using. But then when you press a
Yeah, they'll have
button,
that issue.
it I did
Mhm.
I didn't know until like hours into the game, like proper hours into the game. I didn't know I had like a multiple function, because I remember going into, no spoilers, a particular planet where you kind of go into the planet and then there's little things in the inside core and you have to find something.
Yeah.
I honestly I didn't know what to do, and then all of a sudden I was sitting there and I was crossing my hands and my ship is hovering in the middle of this planet inside. And then I was just messing about, and all of a sudden the gun came up, and I was like, "Ah, fuck this!" And then the gun changed into a different yoke, and I'm like, "What, what?" And then I start moving the gun, and it was telling me, giving me hints. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like the game does tell you that you've probably just missed it. But as you say, that's an example of you missed something and then
mm.
you just don't know it. But yeah, I still think it was a brilliant game. It's one of the,
It's
it's
very
very few,
unique.
yeah, it's very few and far between that I remember a lot about a game, like start to finish. I remember controlling that little rocket ship. I remember going through that first planet. I remember going to see the guy in the moon. I remember going to the big water planet place thing and trying to work my way through that. I remember going to the,
I got flashbacks of fucking Zelda Ocarina of Time water temple when I was on that water planet. I know
yeah,
it's completely different, but just sitting on that water planet going, what the fuck does this mean? What is going on? And then all of a sudden you're just like, ah, okay, let me give this a try. And then it works. You're like, it's so fucking easy. It's so fucking, why didn't I just think about it?
yeah. I remember seeing the universe end over and over again. Like it's a very memorable game, and
So
that's rare. So it's done something right.
it is, and there's like parts where like the universe is gonna end, so it's just like fuck this, and you turn your ship towards where the universe is gonna end, and you just sit there and you're like, and then as that moment comes in of the lights coming up and the whole universe ending, I would just sit there and close my eyes going, and then just wait, and then all of a sudden you're back
Yeah,
at the start. So just it is,
yeah,
it's a weird rememberable maybe, it's a very memorable game,
memorable. Yeah,
but also that coupled with a unique game makes it even more rememberable. I don't remember. I'm making up words of English here. This is fucking stupid. So that's all the games so far.
that's all the games.
So
Yeah,
far, because you never know. There could be some sales at the end. Because I do have like €4 left. You never know. Something might go crazy.
I
Which,
go crazy with your €4.
yay! So we discussed when we first came online that I think you were going to talk about a particular streamer, but you closed your
Yeah, I was
mouth.
just yeah, I was going to. I was just curious as a general conversation who, which streamers you watch and follow. Um, I think it's quite an interesting topic, in that
Do you
we
think
are
it's a
all.
topic for another time, or
Yeah, yeah, potentially it's probably a bigger conversation because I find that us and Star generally, we've kind of grew up playing the same games, doing the same things, watching the same shows. But I don't feel like we watch the same streamers or watch the same
mm,
gaming content in general. And it would just be interesting to see if there's any crossover there because I know that, or I remember that you and Irish talked about Doctor Disrespect a lot, and I remember watching like 5 minutes of him. Like, I could not watch any more of this human being ever again. He is the most annoying man I have ever seen in my life. Just literally screaming constantly like a 5-year old. I
That's
was
what you
like,
put up with on Discord, though.
exactly. So I don't want to go watch a streamer and I have to put up with it again. Um, so yeah, I like kind of more quiet, reserved streamers. Like Northern Lion's quite a good streamer because he's just like just
See,
go play shit
we
and
probably
chat.
shouldn't say any of the streamers at the moment, but I definitely think that this could be a topic for next week. Because
Yeah, it's
I think like I watch Twitch and YouTube and all that, but I also watch kind of like people who are on Twitch but release videos on YouTube. If that makes
yeah,
sense,
me too.
like you know,
I very rarely watch Twitch live. I don't have the time for it,
me
and
ne- me me neither, me
streamers
neither.
align to American times and stuff like that. So I very rarely watch it live. I always watch VODs on YouTube.
Mm, mm.
Really.
I'm pretty much the same when it comes to Twitch. It's always in between something. It's never I'm going to watch Twitch.
Mhm.
But Doc, just jumping back to you mentioned Doctor Disrespect. I'd watch Doctor Disrespect because I think he's just really entertaining. So I could sit there for 15 minutes and watch, but I wouldn't be breaking my back or ending the day like, oh, I need to go back and watch him. I need to watch this. He's gonna play this.
But he's not entertaining, is he? He's
He
shit.
fucking is.
He's not. He's
Fuck.
just annoying.
That's entertaining.
That's
That's
not
entertaining.
entertaining.
It fucking is entertaining.
Hmm. Agree to
I'm annoying all the
disagree.
fucking time, and I'm entertaining.
I agree to disagree. I suppose. I suppose I just don't get it because
So
um,
yeah, you don't get a lot of things. It's pretty much you know, man. Something, man.
rude.
Anywho, what we'll do
Anywho,
is so for the people who are still watching, which is nobody, we will cut the stream in half. So this is going to be the end of the show. However, there's going to be some bonus extended stuff coming where we're just going to play some Fall Guys. Yay!
yay! We'll jump over into the Star channel as well if anyone wants to join us and chat.
We can't. We
Why
can't.
can't we?
The minute you do anything in Discord, it messes up the cameras. Do you never listen to me? I thought I was production. You should be fired.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, fucking right. So finish this off with a song now. There, you ruined the mood.
Uh. Oh. Um.
Hey. Okay, okay. Just yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Is it done?